Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell was a fray. Oh, what fun it was for him to die in the red wedding. One horse open sleigh. Hey! Welcome! That was completely improv. I did not plan on doing that until I clicked. I'm like, oh, make a Jingle Bell Frey reference. Because this bit's coming out around Christmas, I think. I'm filming it in advance. So, welcome to Frey Week. This is the second episode of 4. We are covering Rhaegar Frey, not Jingle Bell. I'm not covering Jingle Bell this week. It'll be a little too sad. I'll do it next Frey week if enough people ask. Rhaegar Frey, so... Because, I was hungry to talk about some Frey pies, so I picked a Frey pie Frey. the Frey pie Frey faction. Wow, that's a tongue twister. So what's going on here? Why am I yelling at the screen? This is what's going on. Go ahead and pause it and read it. So yeah, welcome back to Frey Week. I think this is coming out sometime in the week of Christmas. So I'm filming 4 vids for that week, a little in advance. So I'm just going to wear Christmas shirts for the whole thing. Deal with it. All right, so let's just get right into this. You guys know what this is. You know who I am, and we're talking about a Song of Ice and Fire character. So let's talk about Rhaegar Frey. I gotta love Frey Week. I didn't originally plan for it to come on like Christmas week being Frey Week, but it's kind of hilarious. All right, Rhaegar Frey is a member of House Frey and the second son of Aenys Frey, the third son of Wylde. So, yeah, Aenys Frey is the second Frey, or the third one. So, Aemon and then Aenys, and he's part of that line, right? So, yeah, and Tyana Wylde, who died in childbirth. Oh, that's sad. Rhaegar is married to Jane Beesbury and has 3 children with her, Robert Wylde and Jonos. Rhaegar's wife, Jane Beesbury, died of a wasting illness, making him a widower. That's sad. Around 30 years old, Rhaegar is round-shouldered and kettle-bellied. I'm kettle-bellied too. What's up, Rhaegar? Let's hang out. He has a slinky beard and sardonic smile. Rhaegar's lambskin doublet is trimmed with silver, and has silver cloaks clasped with a brooch depicting the twins. He is named after Rhaegar Targaryen. It's a little dumb. I love that he's named Rhaegar Frey because it's like, no, of all people, Frey hasn't earned the name Rhaegar, like one of the most mythically awesome characters who died right before the show, right? Not right before, but 19 years before the show, 18 years, whatever. I'm not doing math right now. But I just love that a Frey, like a fat weasel Frey, is like, I'm kind of like Rhaegar. It's like, dude, shut up. It's like, imagine if I named my kid, like, Mike Tyson. Like, no, he's not gonna be a buff boxer. Like, he's probably gonna be a nerd like me. Maybe, I don't know. Is that how genetics work? Okay, let's talk about House Frey. So House Frey, the Crossing, is a noble house of the Riverlands. Their main seat is the Twins, a pair of castles on each bank of the northern green fork of the Trident that serves as a vital bridge across the river. The Lord of the house is called the Lord of the Crossing. Their sigil is 2 blue towers united on a bridge of silver representing the Twins. So yeah, cool. There we go. I'm going to be reading that one all for Frey days this week. Merry Christmas. All right. White Harbor and the Manderleys, along with Jared Frey and Simon Frey, Rhaegar travels on the Lion Star to White Harbor via Sisterton to return the bones of a Wendell Manderley who was killed during the Red Wedding to his father, Lord Wyman Manderley. So Rhaegar's story starts rather late. They already joined the war. They already flipped. They already Red Weddinged. Wendell's bones are being returned to Wyman Manderley in White Harbor. That's where we're already in Dance of Dragons. We're pretty late in the story by the time good old Rhaegar Frey comes in to save us all, right? So, yeah. The Freys also want to ensue White Harbor ensure, what's that? Is that even a word? Ensure White Harbor bends the knee to the Iron Throne. The widower Rhaegar is betrothed to Lord Wyman's granddaughter, Winifred. They also offer Wyman a Frey bride and the betrothal of a little Walder Frey, yes, that little Walder Frey, to Wyman's other granddaughter, Wylde Manderly. So yeah, so they show up at White Harbor and they start like, you got a lot of Manderleys, we got a lot of Freys, let's make some weddings. Yeah. All right. Davos arrives. For some reason, like every one of my like maybe not Hostine, but 3 of my 4 Frey weeks, I just have a chapter of like, and the POV gets like that's kind of just the nature of these characters. They like do something, they're in a POV chapter, and then they do something. That's kind of it. Like Jamie Arrives is going to be in 2 of them. So Davos is this one. So Davos gets there. A POV gets there. When Lord Davos Seawoth arrives in White Harbor to pursue House Manderly to support Stannis Baratheon, the 3 Freys are already present. When Davos accused the Freys of killing Wyman's son and his king Robb, not Davos's king, but Wyman's king, Jared Frey claims that Robb changed into a beast in Slain Wendell, a lie that made Davos gasp. What? And he names Jared a liar. So, yeah, Jared Frey saying this, not Rhaegar. After a long discussion, Wyman makes it clear that through fear of Willis Manderly's death and promises from a late Tywin Lannister marriage between Wyman and Frey, they will remain loyal to King Tommen. Doesn't make it clear. He realizes it. I'm skipping over the majority of this really awesome scene. Yeah. Check that chapter out, man. It's a really good one. Davos's chapters and Dance are just really good, but his Sisterton one's really good. That's why I covered Godric Burrell. But also now why I'm covering Rhaegar, because that scene's really good. So I'm skipping a lot of it. But he's like, why are the Manderleys being so loyal? And he thinks, oh, it's fear because they still have Willis Manderly, who I also did a video on. Covered a lot of characters. So, yeah, that's something that he comes to in his mind. Ready for it? This is the real part of that chapter. That's great. Wylde versus Rhaegar. A young girl, Wylde. Did we just say that Wylde was going to marry... yeah, Wylde Manderly. I'm assuming that's the same Wylde is supposed to marry little Walder Frey, who is the big Walder. All right, a young girl, Wylde Manderly, Lord Wyman's granddaughter, vocally supports Stannis and appears to start to sway the court. When she announces her refusal, there you go, to I wrote this and I forgot, to marry little Walder, her grandfather threatens to send her to the Silent Sisters. I'll send you the Silent Sisters if you don't stop talking. Wylde goes on to tell of her the promises of loyalty House Manderly made to House Stark when they were exiled from the Reach centuries ago. She's like, guys, don't you remember the oath? Like, just little girls just yelling at them like, we owe so much to the Starks. What are you doing? It's pretty great. All right. I love Wylde Manderly. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, when Rhaegar explains that House Stark is only extinct in the male line, and that Ned's daughter, Arya, not Arya, is wedding Roose Bolton's son, and if she wants to honor her oath of loyalty to the Starks, she should pay it to the Boltons. He's like, oh, if you love the Starks, just love the Boltons. It's the same thing. What? All right. Rhaegar says that Robb is more of a monster than... wait. Skipping. Made to the Boltons. To this, she reminds the court of Lady of Hornwood. I'm not going to get into that, but Ramsay did some horrible stuff to somebody who he forced married to, who was also a Manderly. So that's why they're like, no, remember he killed one of us. So Rhaegar says that Robb is more of a monster than Ramsay. Lols. And goes on to say that Robb abandoned the North to the Riverlands and that and that all must support King Tommen, calling the young wolf a vile dog. The angered Wyman pretends to agree, but he's actually mad at Rhaegar for saying this. Pretends to agree with Rhaegar as the Iron Throne holds hostage of their surviving heir, Sir Willis Manderly, at Harrenhal. Wyman sends Wylde out of the court and Davos to the dungeon. So even though Rhaegar's like putting his foot in his mouth, this guy's a dum-dum. Like Wylde's making a lot of good points. Davos making a lot of good points. Rhaegar's like, guy turned into a werewolf and murdered a bunch of people. And then Wyman's like, I have to agree with the guy who's saying the dumb stuff. All right. All right, we got one more and then one more. We got two left. All right. Guest gifts. Here we go, guys. Wyman fakes Davos's death by hanging a criminal with similar features executed, by having a criminal with similar features executed and his head dipped in tar so the Freys falsely believe him to be Davos. So he fakes Davos' death as a reward for proving his loyalty. Cersei Lannister has Willis return to White Harbor via Maidenpool. Wyman gives Rhaegar, Jared, and Simon Frey Palfreys, that's a horse, as guest gifts when the three Freys depart White Harbor for the wedding to, quote, Arya Stark to Ramsay Bolton, to Jane Poole. They disappear while traveling to Barrowtown, however, and despite the search efforts from Ramsay. So, yeah. So, Rhaegar, who we're talking about, and two of his other Freys, the Friends of Freys, get a horse as parting guest gifts and are sent away by Wyman Manderly. And then as they're headed up to go to fake Arya's wedding with Ramsay Bolton, they don't even make it to Barrowtown. They disappear. So, yeah. Goodbye, Rhaegar Frey. It's a fun vid. Add to Winterfell after Ramsay's wedding. Raymond presents 3 huge pies at the wedding feast while requesting a song from the singer Abel about the rat cook. Sir Aenys Frey, Rhaegar's father, and Sir Halstein Frey suspect Wyman of foul play. He's acting a little suspicious. He's like, hey, let's sing the song about cannibalism as we eat these meat pies. Where were your son Rhaegar and everybody? Oh, who knows? It's a baller move, okay? Here, eat your family and let's sing and dance about it. Frey Pies. Okay, so this is it. This is my last slide, which is usually my slide for fan theories or symbolism or whatever, right? Sometimes I don't have anything. Sometimes I skip them. Not often. All right, so of course we're going to talk about Frey Pies. It's why I wanted to choose one of the Frey Pie ones. And I liked Rhaegar the most, so because of his connection to Aenys, who's actually at the wedding where the Frey Pies were served, because it's his son, and also I love his exchange. But yeah, so I chose Rhaegar the talk, but it was more so I can bring up Frey Pies. So it's hard to call the Frey Pie theory a theory at this point because there is just so much evidence. The Rat song, the missing phrase, and the Manderly's connection to cannibalism. Watch my Willis Manderly video if you don't know what I'm talking about. But there is a connection to, of course, this story of cannibalism. The Skagos is where they send Davos, where there's cannibalism. And then Willis Manderly's cannibalism of Vargo Hoat, which was, I'm assuming, against his will. But yeah. All right, maybe you don't need to watch it. I just explained the connection to cannibalism. Okay. How many times can I say cannibalism? I am a skeptic when it comes to theories, but Frey Pies is one of the few that I treat almost as fact. I don't treat them all as fact, but like complete fact, but pretty close. I love to credit the first person to suggest this, but it's such a well-known theory that I couldn't find it. I could not find where this first came from. I'm sorry, guys. If people know, like, hey, this originated in a Reddit post a long time ago by this, put it in the comments because that's great. All right, for the few that are not aware, the theory states that Wyman had Rhaegar, Jared, and Simon kidnapped on the way to Winterfell and baked into 3 huge pies. Wyman brings to Ramsay's wedding. I have seen in the Preston Jacobs vid, Frey Civil War. So this is cool. So I would just listen to the Frey Civil War vid, just kind of get ready for Frey week because I was trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm sure I'm missing stuff, but you know, so I have some stuff to talk about. And in the Frey Civil War vid, at the end, he goes, "All right, let's really talk about Frey Pies." And this is when President Jacob says this. He thinks it's possible that the three Freys are just being held captive like Davos was, because the those three Freys specifically had little to do with the Red Wedding. Like they weren't the architects of the Red Wedding. And also they are way more useful as hostages. So that's possible. And I didn't write it down, but Wyman already faked the death of a political prisoner and then kept them hostage, right? Like everyone thinks that Davos, a political prisoner, is dead when he just secret kept them hostage. So he could have done that with the three Freys, and that's why he's acting so suspicious. I'm not saying that's what happened, okay? I'm just saying that's what Preston's bringing up. And it kind of makes sense because they do kind of fit the idea of like they're way more important as hostages, but yeah, I don't know, but it's maybe one of those things that it's been a theory so long that the only way to be edgy is if you say the theory doesn't exist. Like the people who don't believe in R plus L equals J. I'm not triggering you. Come on, guys. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Click like, subscribe. That was my Rhaegar Frey video where I got to talk about Frey Pies and also just the fool named after a dragon. And yeah, so if it is Christmas week when this comes out, go eat some Frey Pies. Commit some don't do cannibalism. Don't go do a cannibalism. All right, thank you guys for watching. Peace.